Diontae Johnson is going to be out multiple weeks with a hamstring injury. Going to break down the details on that here in just a second. Then also, the J.J. Watt rumors are back after the Cam Heyward injury news. I'm going to tell you whether or not that's a good idea. And then also, Kenny Pickett. There's a rumor going around that he might have suffered a concussion on the third play from scrimmage for the Steelers offense in that embarrassing Week 1 loss versus the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to tell you what head coach Mike Tomlin had to say about those rumors. But before we get into today's action, go ahead and do me a favor. Click that subscribe button and join us for when we go live this week, coming up here in Week 2. Tomorrow we got our Steelers Talk live show, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to talk some Steelers football with us here in the middle of the week, make sure you turn on your notifications so you know when we go live then. Then also Monday Night Football versus the Cleveland Browns at Acrisure Stadium. This is going to be a big game for Mike Tomlin and the Steelers roster to try to bounce back after that embarrassing Week 1 loss. We're going to start that live stream at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday night. So don't miss it. Make sure you click that subscribe button. Now let's get into the injury news of the day. Yesterday it was Cam Heyward. Today it's Diontae Johnson. Two very critical pieces to the Steelers on offense and defense, respectively. And reportedly, Johnson's going to miss a few weeks. Now, when I saw Johnson go down to the ground after a nice play against the 49ers, I thought that he was going to be done for a while. He went down immediately. It was a non-contact injury. He immediately grabbed for his hamstring. I thought it was a straight-up tear. We don't know those details as of yet, but right now we do know he's going to be out for probably a couple of weeks here. So overall, pretty decent injury news, I guess, relatively speaking, but it's definitely going to be a big blow to miss Diontae Johnson, especially against this Cleveland Browns defense, which is stacked with first-round talent all over the place. Take a look at the Steelers wide receiver depth chart right now. It's going to be big time for George Pickens, Allen Robinson, and Calvin Austin III to step up here in his absence. And the thing that scares me a lot here is that also Miles Boykin is dealing with an injury. And Diontae Johnson, man, he's, in my opinion, he is the best route runner in this wide receiver room right now, and it's not really even close. He is that elite separator in this room. And without him in the lineup, you know, you really don't have that elite separator route runner type, and I'm just wondering if Calvin Austin III, who's going to be tasked with trying to fill that role, I wonder if he has what it takes. It's going to be interesting to see here, but these injuries are really starting to stack up for the Pittsburgh Steelers. After a relatively healthy preseason, now you got Diontae Johnson out for a couple of weeks. You've got Cam Heyward out for at least 4 weeks. He's about to hit the IR. You got Chukwuma Okorafor dealing with concussion protocol this week. He's questionable. Pat Freiermuth, he's questionable with a chest injury. I do expect him to play. However, he did finish the game versus the 49ers. And then James Daniels, just to make things worse, another starting offensive lineman, questionable with a leg injury, was seen in a walking boot at the facility earlier this week. DeMarvin Leal, of course, is dealing with an elbow. He's questionable. And then Miles Boykin, another player, seen in a walking boot at the Steelers facility this week. He's dealing with a leg issue. So when is it going to stop, man? This is just absolutely terrible at this point. Not only do you lose 30-7 on your home turf in Week 1, but a bunch of key players in your starting rotation are dealing with injuries. But if you want to send some love to Diontae Johnson here and wish him a speedy recovery, do me a favor, get in the comment section right now and spam his number 18, down there in the comment section. All right, now let's talk about J.J. Watt. There's a lot of Steelers personalities out there that are begging GM Omar Khan to try to convince J.J. Watt to come out of retirement in the wake of this Cam Heyward injury news, where he's going to be out for a number of weeks. He's going to get surgery on his groin. And, you know, it's to me, I just don't think this is going to happen. I think JJ is very happy in retirement. And honestly, I'm not really sure if it's a fit to bring in JJ Watt to fill a 3 technique, which is more of a defensive tackle position in the 3-4 defense. You know, maybe if Larry Ogunjobi was the one to get hurt, I think it would probably make a little bit more sense. You take a look at this depth chart right now. Cam Heyward's position, he plays that true 3 technique defensive tackle pass rush type of position. You got Larry Ogunjobi that plays more of a 3-4 defensive end. And then Montravius Adams is your starting nose tackle. Head coach Mike Tomlin did say today that Keanu Benton and Armon Watts, Isaiah Loudermilk, those guys are probably going to be rotating in to fill in for Cameron Heyward if they don't make a signing. Tomlin did say that they're not going to be turning a blind eye to the players in free agency and via trade. So it's definitely possible a move happens. And if that move happens, we're going to have a breaking news video for you here on the channel. So make sure you subscribe. But all these rumors, right? J.J. Watt, Aaron Donald, Chase Young, all these names that I'm seeing thrown around here over the last 24 hours. I just think all those rumors are straight up garbage. They're pure speculation at this point. And I really do think Mike Tomlin trusts the guys in the locker room right now to hold down the fort. Now, time will tell if that's a good decision or not. And it's really going to come down to, in my opinion, Keanu Benton's ability to step in as a rookie and fill that 3 technique spot. There's some people on Steelers Twitter right now that are saying the Steelers are doomed, especially against a strong run game in the Cleveland Browns led by Nick Chubb, who averaged over 5 yards a carry versus a very solid Cincinnati Bengals defense in week 1. But Keanu Benton, man, his number one thing coming out of college for me was that he was an elite run defender. He can get in the backfield. He's really good at the line of scrimmage, holding down the fort, holding the line. And he did a really good job in relief of Cam Heyward in week 1 versus the 49ers. So I think that Keanu's going to be able to come in here. He's going to do a decent enough job of filling that role in this Steelers defense. And overall, this is still a very talented Steelers defense. He's still got TJ Watt. He's still got Alex Highsmith. I think that you're probably going to be bringing up Braden Fajoku from the practice squad, and he could get some time at nose tackle this week. You still got Larry Ogunjobi. This is still a very talented Steelers defensive line and pass rush overall. Now, it's definitely going to be a downgrade from Cam Heyward because he's an all-pro caliber player, in my opinion. But I think Keanu Benton, in terms of people to back up a guy like Cam Heyward, it's about as good as you can get, especially for a rookie. So coming up here, does Kenny Pickett, or did Kenny Pickett suffer another concussion in week 1 versus the San Francisco 49ers? I'm going to discuss those rumors and what Mike Tomlin had to say. But first, let's have a word from our sponsor at Game Time. And Game Time is the new sponsor here at Chat Sports. And it's the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. I love using Game Time specifically for last-minute tickets. They have the lowest price guarantee, so you don't have to be checking all these different ticketing apps to try to find the best price. They have it guaranteed, so that's why I love using Game Time personally. They've got a bunch of great features as well. They got a 360-degree view of your ticket so that when you get to the stadium, there's no surprises. You know exactly where you're going to be sitting and what view you're going to have. And then also last-minute deals right before game time, those flash deals. Always make sure that you have the best possible price possible. It's the fastest growing ticketing app in the country for a reason, guys. Get images of your seat before you buy so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive at the stadium. Buy tickets in a matter of seconds, just 2 taps and you're set. Tickets are sent directly to your phone so you never have to dig through your email. Snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code SteelersChat. One word, all caps, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code SteelersChat, one word, all caps, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, now let's talk a little bit about Kenny Pickett and some of the rumors going around that he suffered a concussion versus the 49ers in week 1. He was slammed to the ground on the 3rd offensive play of the game. And then after that, Kenny just didn't look like himself. Multiple wide misses that are kind of uncharacteristic from Pickett, especially based on what we saw from him during the preseason and towards the end of last season, where he was one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the National Football League. It was definitely not a great game for Kenny, and some people are like, he might have suffered another concussion. And, that would certainly explain a lot, man. If you're dealing with a concussion, you're playing through that. That would explain some of the really poor decisions he was making. That would explain why he wasn't making the throws that he usually makes routinely. But Mike Tomlin today in his press conference did say that they checked him on the sideline and he completely passed concussion protocol. So that either means, A, there's no excuses. He didn't have a concussion. He just played terrible. Or B, he was playing with a concussion, and the NFL's concussion protocol allowed him to play anyway. So either way, I think it's pretty bad for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I'm looking forward here to week 2. It's looking like Kenny, he's not dealing with concussion protocol right now. He is cleared to play. He is cleared for contact. I expect him to be out there on the field on Monday night versus the Cleveland Browns. We'll see if his name gets added to the injury report this week, but hopefully, man, I'm hoping that he's going to be just fine here heading into week 2. If you want my film analysis on Kenny Pickett from week 1. I'm putting out a bunch of different clips on Twitter today, so if you want to check that out and get more Steelers content on Twitter or X, whatever you guys want to call it, you can give me a follow at Jack_Sperry. Now, before I go, we got a couple more Steelers news items to cover here, starting with Matt Canada. And there's some really concerning statistics about his tenure as the offensive coordinator here that I want to address because it's starting to get ridiculous at this point. Okay, so in his tenure as the offensive coordinator of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Matt Canada has been the offensive coordinator for 36 games. And on only 9 of those did they score 20 or more points. That is absolutely ridiculous, man. I don't even know how to describe that. That is so bad. I mean, 9 out of 36, scoring 20. That's like the baseline for NFL teams. I mean, they're scoring less than 20 on, what is that, 27 games out of 36? That's unacceptable in my opinion. And then out of all of those 36 games, they don't have a single game over 400 yards of offense. Not just 400 yards passing, of total offense. That is absolutely atrocious. And these numbers prove straight up that Matt Canada is the worst offensive coordinator in the National Football League, at least to this point in his Steelers career as the offensive coordinator. And time is running out for him, man. That's what I'm going to say. If he doesn't get this offense working by week 4, I bet Mike Tomlin is going to kick his ass out of this league, man, because that's where he kind of belongs. You can't get one 400-yard game with Diontae Johnson, George Pickens, Pat Freiermuth, even when he had Big Ben. Seriously, you can't just, not even one game? I mean, I'm just looking at this right now, man, and I'm looking at Matt Canada. He better get things going quick or his ass is going to be out of the NFL in short order. Let me know what you guys think about Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator here, down there in the comments section. Put your confidence level in him from a scale of 0 to 10 down there in the comments section for me. I'm getting a little worked up here, man, and, for me, my answer is going to be 1. I'm not going to put it at a straight-up 0 because, we showed us some good things in preseason. Kenny Pickett, he's got the talent here. I don't want to give it a 0% chance that he's going to get this ship righted, but look at the evidence. I mean, it's just been awful. It's been 3 years now, and he hasn't been able to figure it out. So really hoping Matt Canada can figure something out here and get his stuff together with Kenny Pickett in weeks to come. But if it doesn't, I think he's going to get fired and fired quickly. Now let's talk about our last news item of the day today, which is that George Pickens is reportedly starting to get frustrated with the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. And knowing somebody like George, somebody that's dealt with behavior issues in the past, it's one of the reasons why he fell in the 2022 NFL draft is because people didn't trust his temperament. And right now, if things continue this way, a potential blow-up and a potential trade demand might be coming from George Pickens, and that would absolutely suck if you are the Pittsburgh Steelers, because this guy, in my opinion, is a budding superstar in this league. If you can't get him the football, I mean, I just don't understand. You have to be the worst offensive play caller in the National Football League to not get the ball in the hands of George Pickens. He's one of the best talents in this league, hands down. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the hands, he's got the body control. He has the talent to be the next DeAndre Hopkins in this league, in my opinion. And if you drive him away, shame on you, man. Shame on you. But there is some silver linings here, right? With Diontae Johnson out of the lineup for the next couple of weeks, presumably, George has a really great opportunity here to be that true number 1 weapon. And I really do expect Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett to be targeting him regularly. If they don't, it's even more malpractice and even more reason to fire Canada. But I'm really excited to see what George is going to be able to do with this enhanced opportunity in the weeks to come. All right, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thanks for sticking around to the end of today's video. Again, for daily and free Steelers content here on YouTube, make sure you click that subscribe button. Of course, we're going live tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Don't miss it. We're going to be talking the latest Steelers news and rumors. I'm going to be previewing the Monday night matchup versus the Cleveland Browns. You're not going to want to miss that, so make sure you click that subscribe button. That'll be it for me today, guys. I'll see you guys later, and as always, here we go, Steelers.